Hello, I'm Shane Fitzsimmons. As Commissioner, I am well aware that not only are we responsible for the protection of life and property from fire right across areas of New South Wales, but the RFS is also acknowledged as a key agency that can be relied upon in support of a variety of other emergencies and disasters, whether that be storm and tempest, agricultural disease, search and rescue, and so on. In order to deliver on this enormous responsibility, the necessity for state-of-the-art, integrated and compatible communications simply can't be overstated. To that end, the RFS operates one of the largest radio communications networks in the country. Our communication technologies have advanced dramatically over the years. The introduction of the new digitally capable Motorola radios will provide for a solid technology platform into the future. As technologies change, it is essential that we continue to update and refresh our skills to keep pace. This DVD will assist you in understanding and utilising this wonderful new technology.
Hello, I'm Bruce McDonald, Manager Communication Systems. This DVD will introduce the new Motorola 2500 and 5000 series radios and will assist you in becoming familiar with the use of the equipment. All radios are different, so no matter what your level of experience, it's essential you take the time to familiarise yourself with the operation of these new radios. In reviewing this presentation, you should do so keeping in mind Fireground SOPs and Communications SOPs, as technology is linked to operational practices. Please use this DVD in conjunction with the various printed training materials available to acquaint yourselves with the radios, and please remember this is not a substitute for any face-to-face or hands-on training. Throughout the following presentation, we will discuss how to operate the new Motorola radios, and we will also talk about how our radio networks operate. Please watch this DVD until you feel comfortable and capable in operating the new radios.
The XTL 5000 Mobile is our new vehicle-mounted digital-capable radio. The radio consists of two components, the handheld microphone handpiece with control functionality, also known as the fist mic, and the transceiver body, or the brick. The brick is usually mounted out of sight. We will focus on using the fist mic to operate the radio. It consists of microphone port into which you speak, PTT or press to talk button, display screen, power button, home key, volume keys, soft keys, channel up and down or mode keys, navigation key for left or right scrolling movement, numeric keypad. The orange button is not used by the RFS. To turn on the radio, simply press the on-off button firmly. The radio will perform a self-test for approximately 10 seconds, then light up. Similarly, to turn it off, hold down the on-off button for 2 seconds, then release. The radio will turn off and the display screen light will go out. To adjust the volume, press the up and down keys for a comfortable level of volume. In the new 2500 and 5000 series radios, we have introduced zones, which are groups of similar channels. These zones will be explained shortly. The text in the centre of the display screen will give you your current zone and channel. To change the zone, press the zone soft key. Your current zone will now flash in the display. Use the left and right navigation keys to scroll to the desired zone. Press the home key momentarily to activate the new setting. The home key acts like the enter key on a computer keyboard. The selected zone and channel will now be displayed on the screen. transmit, hold down the PTT button and speak across the microphone. Remember to speak across the microphone port, never directly into it, while keeping the microphone at a constant distance, about 100mm from your lips. Never shout into the microphone, as it will make it difficult for others to understand you. Also, always remember to hold the PTT down for around 1 second before you speak. The XTL 5000 and XTL 2500 desktop are our new digital radios designed specifically to be used within stations, fire control centres, command vehicles and after-hours locations. The operation of the XTL 2500 is identical to the XTL 5000, with the only difference being the colour. The XTL 5000 and XTL 2500 desktop radios consist of two major components: the radio control head and the microphone handpiece. The radio control head consists of an on-off power button, home key, display screen dimmer, volume knob, 5 pre-programmed soft menu keys, display screen, navigation key for left or right scrolling movement, channel knob, function lights, and the orange button is used to identify the GRN site on desktop units. The microphone consists of a microphone port into which you speak and a PTT or press to talk button. Use the on-off button to turn on the radio. When powered on, the zone, channel and soft key icons are displayed. To adjust the volume, simply twist the volume knob as described earlier for the mobiles. The top line of text shows the zone your radio is currently in. To change this, press the zone soft key. Press the left or right navigation keys to scroll to the zone you want. This is similar to the XTL 5000 mobile. Press the home key momentarily to activate the new setting. The second line of the display shows the channel the radio is currently set to. To change this, simply rotate the channel knob until the desired channel is displayed on the screen. To transmit, hold down the PTT button and speak across the microphone at a distance of about 100mm. Remember to speak across the microphone, never directly into it, while keeping the microphone at a constant distance from your lips. Never shout into the microphone, as it will make it difficult for others to understand you. Also, always remember to hold the PTT for around 1 second before you speak. The XTS 5000 and XTS 2500 are our new top-of-the-line portable radios. Robust and versatile, these radios will be used predominantly in the field. Please note that for the purposes of the New South Wales RFS, these two models operate in exactly the same way. The only differences being the way the batteries are changed and the labelling on the keypad lock switch. The XTS 5000 and 2500 keypad layouts are very similar, much like the handpiece on the XTL 5000 mobile. It consists of a microphone port into which you speak and a PTT or press to talk button, display screen, on-off and volume knob, zone knob, keypad lock, the ring switch around the zone knob, home key, navigation key for left or right scrolling movement, numeric keypad, and the orange button, which is not used in the RFS. To turn on the XTS 5000, you simply rotate the on-off and volume knob in a clockwise direction. A short turn will switch on the power, after which the knob controls the volume. The further clockwise you turn it, the louder it becomes. To turn the volume down, rotate the knob in an anti-clockwise direction. To turn the radio off, rotate the volume knob fully anti-clockwise until it clicks off. To lock the keypad, twist the ring around the zone knob completely clockwise. When locked, the words "keypad lock" will appear momentarily when a keypad button is pressed. To unlock the keypad, twist the ring fully anti-clockwise. Remember that when the keypad is locked, you can still transmit, adjust the volume and change zones with the zone knob. Unlike the XTL 5000 mobile radios, the handhelds do not show the current zone in their display. To change the zone, rotate the zone knob until the desired zone is reached. To work out which zone you are currently in, look at the letters in the beginning of the channel number. You can also change zones using the zone soft key, the same as the XTL 5000 mobile. The top line of your display shows your channel. To change the channel, press the button directly below Chan, which takes you to the channel adjust mode. Now you can use the left and right navigation keys to scroll to the desired channel. Alternatively, you can use the numeric keypad to enter the channel number. To do this, press the Chan soft key and enter the channel number. For example, 003 for P003 in the PMR zone, or 09 for GD09 in the GRN digital zone. As before, you must enter any leading zeros. Then press the home key momentarily to activate the new setting. Transmitting works the same way as the XTL 5000 mobile radio. Press the PTT button and speak across the microphone. Again, a distance of about 100mm is normally the best. When using the XTS 5000, remove the battery by pushing the indented button on the underside of the battery, and then pull the bottom of the battery away from the radio. To insert the battery, put the battery into the lip at the top end of the radio, and then push the bottom end of the battery onto the radio. Press firmly until you hear it click. When changing the battery of the XTS 2500, first remove the battery by finding the two clips on the top sides of the battery and pull down. Pull the top of the battery away from the radio and then remove from the grooves at the bottom. To insert the battery, hook the bottom of the battery into the grooves at the bottom of the radio and then push the top of the battery firmly until you hear it click. The XTS 5000 and XTS 2500 radios use a new type of smart battery called Impress. When a battery is inserted into the charger, it will be one of two modes: charge, red light, or condition, yellow light. The charge process can take up to an hour. The condition process can take up to 3 hours. The charger will not condition the battery each time, only when it needs it. It is important to allow a condition cycle to complete when required. When a battery has been charged on an Impress charger in the last 7 days, your handheld radio will display a charge indicator. If the battery has not been charged by an Impress charger in the last 2 weeks, the indicator will not show. In the new 5000 and 2500 series radios, we've split up the different types of channels into groups, which we call zones. The reason for this is to make it easier to find channels when working in the field. Each radio has a home zone, which contains the vote group, as well as a channel for each individual transmitter, operated by the district team or zone that the radio belongs to. You will not find channels for an adjoining DTZ. You will need to switch the appropriate zone to get to these channels. You will notice that each channel now starts with a letter. This letter tells you which zone you are in and the type of channel you are using. For example, P indicates that you are working in the PMR zone. GD indicates that you are in the digital GRN zone. GA indicates that you are in the analog GRN zone. F indicates that you are in the field op zone, containing simplex and portable repeater channels. ED indicates that you are in the ESO digital zone. More on the ESO channel shortly. EA indicates that you are in the ESO analog zone. S indicates that you are in the StratNet zone. When you are given a channel to change to, take note of the channel prefix letter. If you are not given a channel prefix letter to identify the zone, confirm it with Viacom. Without selecting the correct zone, you may find yourself on the wrong channel. The New South Wales RFS operates PMR, or private mobile radio systems, in all districts across the state. A PMR system is made up of a number of radio repeaters, linked together, making up a wide area network. When you transmit, a repeater receives your signal and sends it out again at high power for everyone else to hear. All sites in the system are linked together, so that speaking on any one channel results in your voice being heard across the entire network. Information on which channels are used in your district is available on the communications page in the MyRFS documents section, or simply ask your brigade management. Some RFS PMR networks across New South Wales use a system known as voting. Voting allows a radio to automatically select the best channel to use while travelling around the district, thus avoiding manually switching channels. For voting to work, your network must be set up correctly, and you should check with your operations officer to confirm if voting is used on your network. To enable voting on your radio, simply select the appropriate vote channel or vote group in the home zone. You may find that some teams and zones have more than one vote group where a large number of channels exist. When a radio has a vote group selected, it is silently scanning each channel belonging to that system. When the radio hears a transmission, it stops scanning and measures the strength of the signal from each side. The radio then selects the best channel. A short period of time after the transmission finishes, the radio goes back to silently scanning all of the channels in the selected vote group. When you press the PTT, the radio will transmit on the channel that the radio last voted to. On the Motorola 5000 and 2500 series radios, you can tell that a vote group has been selected if there is a small V in the top of the display. The voting process takes time. On most systems, it can take up to a second for the radio to select the best channel. This is a reason we ask you to remember to hold down the PTT button for at least 1 second before passing your message. Otherwise, you may find the first few syllables of your message being cut off or clipped. Remember that voting is a convenience to avoid manually switching channels while travelling around your district. When parked at an incident, you should manually select the most appropriate channel for your location. Don't let the availability of voting make you complacent about selecting the correct channel when you are parked. Make sure you know your channels. For further information about the vote groups used in your district, team or zone, please consult the documentation on MyRFS or talk to your brigade management. The GRN, or Government Radio Network, is a trunked radio network owned and operated by the New South Wales Government. It covers approximately 1/3 of the state. Trunked networks allow multiple users to utilise infrastructure in a more efficient manner. When using a GRN, you will see a number of different channels, often referred to as talk groups. Changing talk groups within the GRN is the same as selecting channels in any other zone. There are currently 2 GRN zones, the GA zone, which contains analogue channels currently in use, and the GD zone, containing the new digital GRN channels that will come into use around late 2010, replacing the old analogue GRN channels, which will be turned off. During the analogue to digital changeover period over the next couple of years, it is important for you to know whether you need to be in the GA or GD zone. As mentioned already, during 2010, the New South Wales Government will progressively migrate to a new digital GRN network based on the APCode 25 standard, an international standard for emergency service radio networks. The digital GRN will replace the existing analogue GRN. Your new radio has been set up to be able to use the digital GRN and will function exactly the same when using this new network. When using a GRN, the radio operates in a similar way to your mobile phone, automatically selecting and switching seamlessly to the radio site that provides the best coverage for your immediate location. The signal strength indicator shows current reception levels. More bars mean a better signal, similar to that shown on some mobile phones. With 2 or 3 bars of signal, you should not have any problems transmitting or receiving. With 1 or less bars, you may occasionally experience an out-of-range tone, indicating that the radio is having trouble getting through to the base station. Out of range will be displayed on the screen. If this happens, try relocating to a better position and transmitting again. When using the GRN, your radio will produce certain beeps and tones. It is important that you know what each of them mean. On pressing the PTT button, you will hear the connect tone after a short pause. After you hear this tone, you can talk. It is important that you wait until you hear the beeps, otherwise you will clip the first part of your message. If the base station is congested due to a large amount of radio traffic, you will hear the following tone when you press the PTT. If this happens, keep the PTT held down until you hear the connect tone. This tone means you are out of range and unable to pick up a signal. If this happens, you should move to another location and try again. You'll also get this tone if your radio's GRN access has been disabled. If this occurs, contact Firecom. As previously mentioned, your radio has 2 zones devoted to ESO channels. The ESO channels are a set of channels used exclusively by emergency service organisations across New South Wales, allowing different agencies to communicate effectively during large incidents or special events. Your radio has 2 ESO zones, marked by EA for the analogue ESO zone and ED for the digital ESO zone. In the ESO zones, there are 4 types of channels. ESO 1 to 20 are GRN channels. ESO SIM 21 to 30 are simplex channels. ESO Repeat 31 to 34 are for portable repeaters. ESO Air 35 is for liaison with rescue aircraft. In the ED zone, you will also see channels marked GL 1 to 10. These are government liaison channels and are used when liaison is needed between an emergency service organisation and other non-emergency government agencies, such as a utility. These channels appear the same in RFS, New South Wales Fire Brigades, SES, ambulance and other agency radios. It is important that you know how to get to these channels. It's also important to remember that they are shared and you should not use them without permission from Firecom.
Thanks for taking the time to view this presentation. From the Fire Control Centre to the front line, radio communications are vital. The vast areas that we cover mean state-of-the-art radio communications are essential. To get more information, you could go to your local Learning Development Officer or you could log on to myrfs.nsw.gov.au.